Alright, so today's video, we are going to talk about the event that is not real and we are having no actual event. And I'm going to prove to you there is no event going on in this game and we've been scammed this week. So here's the truth of it. So as you see, I've got the title done. Boo-hoo, it took some time. This part's annoying, but whatever. It is what it is. So we were under the impression this is a week-long event, so a lot of people have been rushing, trying to get it done the first day, so they don't have to worry about it. We were also told there was going to be more to this event. There is not more. This is it, is the seal. But here's the thing, this seal is actually not part of the event, and here's why. Here is how I can prove it in literally simplicity, because Bungie admitted this on their Twitter like a bunch of idiots. So here we go. As you see, they posted this earlier. So they say down here, in the meantime, because there's a bunch of, it's annoying for the engrams, but whatever, we're going to skip that engram part and we're going to go straight to this part. In the meantime, there are still several weeks left to earn access to the Legend Pen. You have to unlock the Legend title to get the Legend Pen unlocked. Several weeks left. Okay, whatever. Makes sense, maybe a few extra weeks to claim it. No, turns out, here's the kicker, and the Legend title, which is what I just showed, will be available until Codename Apollo ships in 2025. Under a year away, or around a year away, is when the title goes away. But here's Bungie's words from last week's TWID. Right here, we'll have a small in-game celebration, lol, for you all next week. I want you to understand something. What that says, all next week incites, it's 1 week long. It's a single week of an event. Which means we have 1 week to earn this title. That is what everyone thought. I know that because that's what everyone was talking about. That's what a lot of people were on about and stuff. And like, okay, we got a week. It's plenty of time. It's relatively easy. It makes sense why it's so easy. Turns out, no, you have 52 weeks, or around 52 weeks to earn this title now. Turns out, there is no rush, there is no care in the universe for this title, because you can get it whenever the fuck you want in the next year. Pointless. So, what is the celebration for you, in-game celebration for you all next week? What is it? It sure as hell ain't that, and people would say, oh, well, maybe it's the chest for the armor. No, because the seal is tied to the armor. To get the seal, you have to get the armor, which means the armor will be here for 52 weeks as well. Which means, currently, there is no event going on in this game. It is a complete sham, and that's the truth to it. And for people that don't understand, the truth, that is the truth. We were told for all next week there'd be an in-game celebration. You go here. Yes, they say later they're adding Icebreaker down in this part somewhere. There's it's down here somewhere. Fucking right here, break the ice, right? That says resurfacing in the upcoming dungeon. Okay, cool. I get it. Maybe they're going to have a secret extra dungeon next season. Maybe we're getting two. One free-for-all for the event and one not. Because that's kind of what's going on here. This should be free-for-all if it's part of the event, like they say. So it should be free-for-all. But as far as we know, we were only getting one dungeon next season. It was tied to the season. So I don't know what that's about. But that's a different problem entirely. We'll see what the fuck that's about. But it says right here, all week long. All next week. We were under the impression it was a week-long event, but there's actually no event happening right now. That is what blows my mind. It's not truly an event, because you can get this title for the next 52 weeks. And that makes no sense to me. Like, what? Both the armor sets and the Legend title are the first of our 10th anniversary tributes to Destiny, but there are more coming in the future. Okay, I get that. I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine with that. That they're going to add more in the future, and they'll do maybe a couple months worth of releases, right? Something like that. I have no problem with that. My problem with this is, it says it's the first of their 10th anniversary tributes here. Okay, so, that could last a while. Makes sense. But then we're told here, in this TWID, it's a small in-game celebration for you all next week, which, one, we're not having a celebration. We're literally having a seal that requires nothing new, nothing to celebrate, nothing crazy to do. It's simple stuff that anyone can do, forces you to play things that are pointless in the game, forces you to go to a public space that has no point going to. And yes, it might be a throwback to the loot cave in D1, but it's no longer like that. It should have been Grass of Avarice, if anything, and worked there, but it doesn't work in there. I've tried it, which sucks. Tried to outsmart it. but then it's for you all next week. But then we find out from the tweet, it turns out this is not for all this week, which this tweet was earlier, so it'd be all this week. It's not for all this week. This tweet's for today, and it's for 52 weeks, which means this isn't the event. This is not the week-long event. We don't have a week-long event. We don't even have an event, period. And them saying there's not more until next season, and next season is, well, shit. Because we don't know what's going on there. The population is dead as fuck. We don't know if we're getting a free dungeon. We're getting a dungeon you're going to have to pay for. Because according to them, Icebreaker is part of it by how they worded it. But is that dungeon going to be free for all then? But then if that is free for all, then what are we getting dungeon-wise for the season? Because we were told last year that those two end seasons are going to have dungeons specific to the season. And will focus on stuff to do with this season. It's supposed to connect. So if it's a free one for all, I mean, I'm fine with that. But at the same time, that means we're not actually getting what they told us. And that means when you bought that dungeon key, if you've bought it separately, you're only getting one dungeon. But then, if it is the dungeon that you pay for, and it is part of that, then this statement here is false. Which is that there is more coming to the future. As you may have already guessed, thanks to our keyword, our certain exotic sniper rifle. One considered a myth by many, blah, 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 right? Which is Icebreaker. And it says resurfacing in the upcoming dungeon. So, what the fuck is going on right now? Because to me, what I'm seeing is, if you went and bought the dungeon pass, the dungeon key thing, you've now wasted money because you've only bought one dungeon, not two dungeons like they promised. And then if they do make you pay for it, they say it's part of this, which they said this 10th anniversary is free for everyone, but then it turns out they're going to add more in the future you have to pay for if you want to celebrate the 10th anniversary, which then it turns out this 10th anniversary we're celebrating this week isn't even an event, it's a 52-week long event, and all it is to get a fucking seal and nothing extra, no loot at all of any sort, other than the armor, which is trash as fuck. So, what the fuck is going on right now? What event is happening? Because there's none going on. What is the events they're talking about in the future to tribute the 10th anniversary tribute, which attributes the 10th anniversary thing is supposed to be free to all. So, what the fuck is happening here? There's more coming in the future. It's tied to a dungeon. Is it free? Is it paid for? Are we getting two dungeons? Are we getting one dungeon next season? What's going on here? There is a lot of problems going on right now. There is no actual event happening. We have completely been lied to and scammed off our asses constantly. Like usual. This is literally the most Bungie thing that Bungie do. And it pisses me off because I expected an event. Not a, oh, go get armor, do these seals, and that's all there is. No special, not even a ghost, a sparrow, or a ship, nothing extra. Just one emblem and a fucking bunch of challenges that are pointless and have no point doing. And then, oh, it turns out we have 52 fucking weeks to do it, but we were told last TWID we only had a week to do it because that's how they advertised it, and we got lied to, and now we're told there's more coming in the future, which the more in the future makes no goddamn sense, because that means, on one hand, we've been scammed out of our dungeon keys for those that bought the dungeon keys separately, which I didn't, but people that did, it's a scam. Even if you didn't buy it separately, bought it as the whole pack, that's still a scam because that means you have actually paid extra money for the seasonal system for the year because you're only getting one actual dungeon you have to pay for. But if they're actually making this paid for dungeon, then you're being scammed as well because they said this is part of the anniversary, which is supposed to be free to all, which is a scam. That means they're bullshit. So what in the fuck is going on here? I know I'm ranting, but it's so stupid. I've never seen Bungie make such a big clusterfuck of stupidity in one single fucking post. And then another post, once you realize what's actually happening and break it apart and think about it, we've been scammed. We've paid for a year of content, and a small portion of that we shouldn't have paid for because we're only going to get one dungeon, it turns out, for the season. But then if we do actually get two dungeons for the two different seasons, cool. The only way they can make this work is if they're adding two dungeons next season, which would be horrible because nobody would fucking do that. There's no way people are going to care about both dungeons. Especially if they're bringing back D1s. Yeah, people, obviously there'll be a separation. There'll be a free dungeon for one and then a bought one for another, but for those that bought it. But it's a big problem still for loot grinds because there's two of them now. So people are going to be more trying to figure out what the fuck to do. That's why they don't do that usually. So, what the fuck? Because then there's also the weekly one if there's anyone you want to farm there. There's the older ones. Like, it's a shit show. I'm fine if there being two dungeons, but they need to be clear about this because currently it looks like we're paying for a dungeon or we're not paying for a dungeon, but we've actually already paid for that dungeon if we bought the dungeon key or bought the bundle, the whole year bundle. So this is a complete utter scam, and this pisses me off because I don't like wasting money personally. I know a lot of people don't. So I don't know what the fuck's going on here, but Bungie, you gotta start telling us what the fuck's happening. Because personally, I don't know what the fuck's going on. But this shit's dumb. Okay? We're being scammed. There's either 2 dungeons, or we're paying for a dungeon that should be free, according to you, because it's part of the 10th anniversary thing, or we're not paying for a dungeon that we already paid for by buying either the yearly thing, or by buying the dungeon key itself, like several people have done. So either way, however they put, we're getting scammed, or Bungie actually are bringing out 2 dungeons in one season. But Bungie won't comment on this, and that's the problem we're dealing with now. So, there's no true event happening. We've been scammed. We're potentially getting scammed even harder. I'm pissed. I think most of the community should be pissed. And people should be talking about this. Because there is no true event happening. There is nothing going on. And the future is a scam by the looks of it. So, yeah, I'm sorry I'm ranting. I'm sorry I've been bitching about this. But the truth is the truth. And it needs to be settled. And the community hasn't realized this yet. And it's obviously haven't because there's been no one bitching about it. But y'all, every single person that bought the DLC has been scammed. And every single person that has bought the dungeon key has been scammed. Currently, from what we know, of information that we know about, you've been scammed. One way or another, you have been scammed. In one form or another. Whether it be the free stuff that's not actually free, or the stuff that is free, and we've already paid for. Fucking bullshit, Bungie. This shit needs to be dealt with. That's all I'm saying. It's fucking bullshit. I'm done. That's my rant. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. What you think, let me know. If you think they will actually bring out 2, what do you think they're going to do here? Let me know what you think. Because I'm genuinely pissed off and genuinely like, what the fuck? How does Bungie bring out no event, trash event, call it an event, turns out it's not an event, and then turns out we're getting scammed next season as well by the looks of it? I don't know. Let me know what you think. I don't know what the fuck's going on. This shit fucked up. That's all I'm saying. End of the video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. We're almost at 300. We're like 13 away, so help us get to 300. I'd appreciate it. Y'all have a good day. We out.